Okay, okay, guys. So, in my opinion, this is actually one of the most interesting things that's happened in a long time, probably since the Iran thing. So, I'm gonna watch this and just go full schizo and give my opinion on it.
So, Tucker Carlson, let's stay there for a second. Is his father part of the CIA, and did he know it or not, and when did he know it? Based on this, it looks like he's lying to Candace Owens' face. Yes or no?
I think so.
So basically, what happened was Tucker, in a recent interview with Candace Owens, said he didn't know that his father was a member of the CIA until after his father's death, and now we're seeing footage of him saying that he did know that his father was connected to the CIA before his death. So that's what he's talking about here.
So,
Okay.
from what we just saw, from what
Right.
from like, how about this? Not like he worked for them or around
Dick
them.
Carlson, really? You tell me this guy was the CIA? He just looks like one. Number two, I could show you tapes. So many of them.
Bro, if you like create a movie character of a CIA agent, that's him.
Candace Owens praising Israel, praising what Bibi Netanyahu has done, praising the Jewish people, saying that we have to stop this Muslim aggression. Not 20 years ago, not 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago,
But what happened?
8 years ago.
What do you think happened?
Something happened. I don't know.
What happened?
I don't know what happened.
If you had
But
to
if I
guess,
could roll the tape.
But Adam, what happened though?
yeah,
So you know why I respect Nick Fuentes? I don't see one video of him praising Israel, the Jews. Everything's not liking him
Nick's
and hating him.
real.
Stick to your position. Why is Candace Owens flipped so dramatically? By the way, same thing with Tucker. Why is he flipped so? What has happened?
well, you heard
What's happened?
No, but here's my question to you.
Bro, this Adam guy, I don't even like Adam. This is the PBD podcast, by the way. I've never liked Adam. I've never liked him. But he's making some valid points here. They've both flipped so extreme on this one issue at the same time. Kind of is suspicious.
What do you honestly think it is? What do you think? Because Candace is smart as hell. Tucker, these people are
She's not that smart, guys.
smart as hell.
I think
what happened?
if I could give you a quick, if I can give you a quick summary, and I'll be super quick.
Yeah.
Let's see if Adam can land this. He's been doing so well.
Tucker is the biggest faker out there because he's the elitist masquerading as a populist. Don't believe me? Roll the tape with what Nick Fuentes says. He says he's this elitist who's basically all like about hunting and whiskey. Dude, you're the only person in the history of the world that's had their own show on CNN, MSNBC, and Fox. Stop pretending you're not establishment. You've helped build the establishment, Tucker Carlson. Candace. I don't know what happened with Candace.
Damn. Those are some valid points by Adam. I gotta give him credit. Like, when you think of Tucker Carlson, he is establishment to the core. His dad, Dick Carlson, not only was he in the CIA, I mean, if you watch the Nick Fuentes response, because this all started with Tucker Carlson basically called Nick Fuentes a little gay a little gay basement dweller, essentially, sitting there eating his tendies. But that's how it started. And then Nick came back with like a 2.5 hour, 3 hour, just masterclass of just fact. And you can hate this guy, but at the end of the day, he was just laying down the facts. Nick Fuentes, by the end of watching that, you'll think Nick Fuentes knows Tucker Carlson better than he knows himself. And he knows Dick Carlson better than Dick knew himself. I mean, he just knew everything about their life. And it turns out from the evidence that he provided, this Dick Carlson guy, Tucker Carlson's dad, wasn't just a member of the CIA. He was a serious player. Ronald Reagan appointed, played major roles in major events throughout history. I think with the Soviet Union, all things like this. So he is establishment to the core. And then he's on Fox News. He has the biggest segment, whatever it's called, on one of the biggest news platforms in the world, which is owned by Rudolph Murdoch, whatever the fuck, so Rupert Murdoch, whatever the fuck he's called, who owns like 10 different news outlets. So he's establishment to the core. and he's got Fed written all over him. Bro, he looks like one of these undercovers that's like trying to pretend to be a gangster, walking around in fresh jeans and boots. like he just has Fed written all over him. And then you look at his connection to his dad. What I think is going on, this is just my opinion, is so he was mainstream first. We have to get him mainstream. We have to get him out there. So he's on these mainstream platforms like Fox News and all this. And he's been around for a long time. So we didn't have this kind of internet podcast kind of thing back when he was starting off in journalism, or back when he was in journalism in the earlier days. So they have this guy here, and he applied for the CIA, by the way. So think about this. If he applied for the CIA, especially considering that his dad was such an important CIA figure, wouldn't it make sense to act like he didn't get into the CIA, but actually bring him into the CIA and use him as a news reporter because that was his talent as a CIA asset? I mean, is that not what the CIA would do? I mean, they have done that before. There's declassified documents showing that they've tried to penetrate, or that they have penetrated the press in order to control public opinion. You don't think they're doing that now? I mean, I think they are 100%. And if I were to think of the ideal person, the ideal agent to control the media, it would be Tucker Carlson. So you have this guy, he's in media, and now we're entering this new landscape where all the mainstream media, the legacy media, is dying off, and we're getting this kind of authentic podcaster, real people, everyone's allowed to speak kind of world. And in that world, these Don Lemons and these fake podcasters, they have no affinity with their audience. Nobody wants to listen to them. People want authentic people. So I think they anticipated that this was coming. They could see this kind of shift occurring. And they're like, okay, so Tucker now, he needs to start saying the controversial things. He needs to get people on his side. He needs to make it seem like he's the anti-establishment guy. He's the only guy saying all these things. He's going against the grain. He's on your side. He's speaking up for you, and everyone and no one else is. And then, just to make it perfect, Fox News fires him, even though he has the most successful show. They can use the successful show, the fact that he has such a successful show, as an excuse to keep him for a certain length of time, so he can kind of gain affinity with his audience by being this kind of rebel who's speaking out using the mainstream, but he's actually speaking out against the mainstream. Then Fox News fires him. Now he's like this, solo guy. No one controls him. He's authentic. He's with the people. He's flipped on his opinions. Now he sees the world for what it really is. And to me, it's just the most obvious thing ever. And when you watch him, there's such a high level of inauthenticity just in his laugh. I mean, Trump called it, he's kooky Tucker. Kooky Tucker. The guy is kooky, he's weird, like. But he's managed to gain this affinity with the audience. And so what is the point of this? The point of this is that when an idea breaches containment, or as the saying goes, nothing can stop an idea whose time has come. When an idea gets to a point where you cannot censor it anymore, where you cannot stop people talking about it anymore, where it's becoming mainstream, then it becomes essential to control the narrative and to control the parameters of the discussion if it's a very controversial, very important topic. So you have a guy like Tucker who he's built up this trust because you've allowed him to concede ground on all these other issues. He spoke out against the establishment and all these other issues to gain your trust. Now you trust him. Now he's speaking out against Israel. Whoa, this guy's really anti-establishment. But then you listen to what he's actually saying and you understand it's in a very controlled manner. He's like guiding you. He's gently guiding you in the right direction. I'm with you. But don't believe that. No. Those people are there to discredit the real right, which is me. I'm with you. We believe this on this issue. That's Tucker Carlson. And if you don't believe this stuff is true, if I sound fucking schizophrenic to you, if you don't think that the CIA, the people who conducted MK Ultra, where they were spiking people with LSD and doing mind control experiments, declassified, confirmed. The people who came up with proposals to carry out false flags on the United States, Operation Northwoods, declassified. This stuff, it's not made up. It's on Wikipedia. I mean, it's declassified. It's fact. You don't think that these people, they're using all the elite Harvard, think of the elite Harvard and elite Ivy League studies into psychology, into human behavior, into sociology, all these different things. You don't think the smartest minds in the world, the people with the 150 IQs, all working together, researching this stuff, are going to use this? I mean, I think that's what this is. It's controlled opposition. Tucker Carlson is a created entity designed by by the CIA to basically control the narrative. That might sound crazy to you. I kind of went off on a bit of a rant there, but in my opinion, that's what's going on.
She worked for Prager University, and she worked.
And one of the things that backs that up is the fact that it's only once this idea, like, it couldn't be ignored anymore, the Israel shit. Because of the shit in Gaza, it couldn't be ignored anymore. So they need someone to control the narrative, to kind of, you know, direct people in the direction they want it to go. Because without that, you just have free people speaking. And they might say something that goes against your interest as the CIA, as the people who are trying to control the world. Let's listen to what happened to Candace.
Charlie Kirk with Turning Point, and all of a sudden she's the biggest anti-Israel person out there. I don't know what happened. If I would speculate, it's probably something to do with her husband, who's Catholic, and there's a form of Catholicism that absolutely hates Israel and the Jews. You don't believe me?
Bro, this is literally what controlled opposition does. They say things that are so true. Everything he was saying up to that point was true. So you're like, oh yeah, I agree with this guy. Yeah, Adam, he's laying it down. He's speaking the truth. He's not holding back. And then the conclusion, it's not that Tucker Carlson's controlled opposition. It's not that Tucker Carlson, or no, we're speaking about Candace here. It's not that Candace Owens is controlled opposition. It's nothing like that. It's that she married a Catholic who hates Jews, and now she hates Jews. Like, really, Adam? Really? That's literally what control opposition does. They get you on your side, and then they lead you the wrong direction right at the end. They take you 90% of the way there, and then they steer you away from the truth.
Ask her husband, I think his name is George.
Yeah.
His father, their relationship right there. Nick Fuentes, as disgusting as some of his takes are, he's being real. And some people appreciate being real over being.
Bro, now I think fucking Adam's controlled opposition. I'm losing my mind there. Because, like, he's kind of agreeing with Nick Fuentes. Because he knows that Nick Fuentes has the affinity of, like, the youth. And he's authentic. And he's popular. He's blowing up now. So he's kind of praising Nick Fuentes. So everything he's saying, you're like, yeah, Adam, go Adam. Adam's the man. But he just lands it in the complete wrong direction. Now, I'm not saying he's necessarily controlled opposition. I think to a certain extent we're all controlled. But anyways.
Fake, like talking.
But to Candace's point, do you not think maybe with Candace, besides that, that's your take about the father and the
That's not my take.
No, with George.
Look at the guy's
no,
tweet.
no, I'm saying with George.
I'm not bringing opinions. No, I'm bringing receipts.
Well, what I'm saying is,
Oh, Adam's a funny guy. So yeah, that's what I think happened to Tucker. In terms of Candace. I think with Candace, I think it's more likely that Candace, because she's a mother, she's just seeing the things that are going on in Gaza, and she genuinely just went down the rabbit hole of looking into Israel, and she shifted her opinion. Now, the fact that she was working with mainstream Daily Wire, it does make, because what these mainstream outlets will do is they groom people. They're like scouts, talent scouts. They go out and they find the young, fresh talent, and they try to direct them in a certain direction. Like, you're a good speaker, you're someone that can gain affinity with people and win over an audience. So we're going to take you when you're young, and this is what they tried to do to Fuentes too. And we're going to basically lead you into that direction, and then you can potentially rebel. Fuentes rebelled early on. He got extradited. Candace it came later, but maybe it was just the Israel war that was the necessary catalyst for Candace to make that switch over. So I'm willing to give Candace more of the benefit of the doubt, but also Candace just is kind of not that smart and really not that interesting. She's pretty much just a DEI hire, let's be fucking honest. She can say things that white men can't say because she's a black woman, and she can gain a different type of audience. And with all this fucking book club bullshit, like, this is all like, she can win over the women, I guess, the moms and stuff. So that's Candace. But Tucker, fucking CIA. I don't know about Candace. Candace might genuinely just have changed her opinion, and she's not the fucking Einstein of our time anyways. Let's just leave it at that.